So a very warm welcome. Today I have Emma Louise Living Soul with me. She's a BQH practitioner. She's also a nurse, a healer, and you practice energy medicine. Am I right, Emma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Energy worker.
Energy worker. Yeah. So very warm welcome, and thank you so much for taking time to talk to me today.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, my beautiful friend.
So just to introduce myself, I'm your host, Chrysilla Lewis, but I think it's more of a co-creation here between Emma and I. And we will be talking about some of the things that happened in her Beyond Quantum Healing session and whatever else comes up. I know that I'm sure everything and anything we discuss, we can learn from each other.
Absolutely.
And okay, so Emma, you are on Instagram.
No, as Emma Louise Living Soul.
And you are tweeting?
Tweeting, for now at least.
As White Avatar?
As White Avatar.
Okay, cool.
And the verified, the real White Avatar is White Avatar 33, because that was something too, obviously.
I know that people have been asking about when are we going to get together and talk about what happened in your session. Now, for those people who have seen or haven't seen your session, Emma is a Beyond Quantum Healing hypnosis practitioner, and I was facilitating.
Soon, at least.
Yes. And I was facilitating her session for her, and it was incredible because what happened was, as she was laying there in hypnosis, all of a sudden this mist started to appear, and this mist and fog became thicker and thicker, and all of a sudden you were able to see like images and rainbows, and it was quite spectacular. And I kind of got freaked out a little bit because I wasn't sure what was happening. But tell me, Emma, people have been asking, like, was there sunlight coming in? Was the blinds open or closed? Tell us about your environment.
Yeah, the environment was it was not sunny out today. It was cloudy. It was a very dark day. Not dark, but cloudy. It was no sun at all. Rainy and cloudy. And I have this tick. It was not in the room that I'm sitting in now because this is another apartment. But in the apartment I was living in back then, I had drapes, and these drapes are thick because they are like this linen. Do you say linen?
Linen?
Yeah, linen. Yes, linen. So they are thick and keeps the sun completely out or the daylight out. So they were closed. And I did not have any electrical light in the room. Everything was turned off because I like it that way when I meditate. I only had one candlelight, and that was standing behind the computer. So the only electrical device that was on was the computer. So that was how it was. So it was a sealed, call it a sealed room. So it couldn't have been the sunlight, because then I'm wondering how that would appear.
Yes. And we will put the video in the comments for you to have a look at, because this happened so slowly and gradually over your session, or at least maybe an hour of your session before it faded away. I had to speed up the video so you could actually see it unfold.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that.
No, actually, I have never seen anything like it either. Not tapes, but I've seen it when I meditated. I've seen it within myself, like with my third eye, I guess. This beautiful light coming in, and it's like this. I've always just called it the rainbow light, but when I think about it, that kind of gets the wrong impression, because it's not like the rainbow can be sharp. It's like sharp colors, but it's more like pastel colors. And it also had these beautiful round circles, and almost like it was like the circles had colors and layers within them, and they like started to become more and more bigger and more bright. People can see it for themselves. I always felt that this is the presence of what I just call many people call it the Christ consciousness, God consciousness, but I've just chosen to just call it the ever-expanding consciousness that we are all part of. And the main reason I call it that is because I try to be as religious neutral as possible, because I want everyone to feel that they can be part of this, and everyone is a part of it. So when I get in touch with this, I always feel this extreme soft vibration, and this type of lights come in, but I had no idea that someone else could see it as well. So you have to try this more times. See if it shows up.
Well, I think that's what's fascinating about it. It was recorded, and our electronic devices seem to be able to pick up so much more these days than ever before. Even we picked up electronic voice phenomena in your session as well, where someone said thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we didn't hear that at all with our physical ears. And so more and more things are being captured that is kind of out of this world.
Yeah.
But you did speak about how you felt within the session. Would you be able to elaborate? What did you experience as you were under hypnosis, and as I was talking you through what you were seeing?
Yeah, I actually remember it very well, but of course I have prepared for a little bit for today, so I've been going through it. But I remember that when you started to speak, to lead me into this state, I can honestly say that I don't remember what you were saying at all, because I was gone very fast. But to begin with, and it was very strange, I never experienced this thing before, but I was sitting in a very tiny little room, and it was like a wooden box, but more like a wooden room though. I couldn't see any doors or windows, but I was sitting there, and I didn't feel afraid or anything. It was like I was completely emotionless, no emotions attached to the experience. I was just, maybe curiosity, that's an emotion as well. Because I was looking around me, and I had this feeling I could decide what to do. Yeah. So suddenly I just thought to myself, why I'm sitting here? There's nothing to experience here except from wood. So I just decided I'm just gonna leave out of this ceiling or the wall, Everything was just wood, so everything went into each other. So when I did that, I just flew out of it, and I could see that, I'm up in the air. But I could see the green grass around me, and the more I lifted above the ground, the further the earth was behind me. So I could see, I'm leaving the earth now. And for some reason, I had no idea what that was about, but I could see a little girl laying in the grass. She was laying there alone, but there was no I didn't have any feelings around it. So it was observation. And I started to rise more and more and more out into the universe, I guess. And suddenly I found myself, it was a very fast shift. I found myself it was almost like a tube. And that tube was also strange, but I was neutral to the experience. But I felt like I was inside of something that was very biological, in a sense. So it was a little bit moist, and it felt very physical to be there. Very strange, actually, but it was very physical. So I started to walk in that little tube. And in front of me, it was like a little carriage, like a wagon. And on that wagon, and that was very strange, it was laying different body parts cut off. And it sounds gross, but don't worry, no darkness here. But these body parts looked like some humanoid-looking reptilians, you know, because I could see they had claws and all kinds of things. So I was like, I don't need to be here. I just thought, I don't need to be here. I'm not going to be here. So I just exited right out of the tunnel or the tube to the right. And when I did that, I was flowing into this space again with stars around me. I could see planets, all kinds of different things, probably the moon, I think I could see. And then I felt this magnetic pull. It was like something was pulling me. And I turned around. I was just floating there. And I turned around and I could see a tunnel of light. And I'm curious, so I'm kind of moving toward it. And that wasn't difficult because it was like it was dragging me toward it. But when I got closer, I felt this tunnel is very physical. It's like, I didn't feel it was etherical. I didn't feel like going in there. So I started to resist going in. And I felt, no, I'm not going in there. I don't want to go in there at all. And I started to really resist. And then I was thinking to myself that I'm going to follow my own light. And in the moment when I said that, it was like my own light inside of me, because up till this moment, I had an experience that I was still in my body. But in that moment, it was like the light within myself was bursting out. Like it was like just burning. And suddenly I was just consciousness flowing, and this tunnel of light, it just exploded. It was like this light that I felt was very physical, almost like a false light. It was just exploding, and it kind of just crashed together. So in that moment, me with my consciousness and my own light, I just flew out like a comet, you know, but the other way. And suddenly I just found myself in pitch darkness, and it was like this sparkling light around me. And it was so calm and so beautiful. It was like, I felt like I was part of everything. It was an amazing feeling. It's very difficult to use words to describe it, to be honest. But it was amazing, and I was just floating there. And then I can remember that I had the feeling of kind of, what I'm describing now is isn't what happened, but this is just a feeling or a picture to describe the feeling. It was like I was sitting in a movie theater and watching myself through a screen, and watching it all through a screen. So it was like I took a couple of steps behind, and I won't say a bigger, but all-knowing awareness came in and started to speak through me. And this was a very amazing experience, because this wasn't like intruding or anything. It was very soft. It was a very soft, gentle energy. But when it connected, I think it always been there. It's always there, but it was more like me becoming aware of it. And suddenly I just found myself speaking. I could hear myself in the background, but at the same time I wasn't there. But this awareness was just speaking through me. And I felt that this awareness is like, I've been thinking a lot about it lately, and I felt that this awareness is probably what many people call God or Christ consciousness and all these labels that we put on them. But I feel I feel that I come to an understanding in myself that this awareness is probably the everything. It's just the consciousness that we are all part of. It's like it's the creator of everything. So I felt I was the universe. I was part of the universe like everyone else. And I felt there is no beginning, no end. It's just a continuous recreation of itself. So I was like in the recreation of us, everything. So it's almost like the universe itself is God, if I should use a word like that. So that's where it started.
So let's go back to when you went into hypnosis, right? So you said you were in this wooden box, and then everything was happening really, really fast and really quickly, and you moved on to another scene. Now, all of this happened and took place with me not even being aware of it.
Yeah.
So the first time you spoke, you were in the energy of outer space, out of, seeing that light in front of you that you didn't want to go into.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating how much goes on behind the scene before you even speak or orientate yourself in any place.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what was incredible is the fact that you said to yourself, I don't want to be here. I don't need to experience this. And I think that is really important, because why do you want to experience something which you don't feel like you want to be there right now? So do you think, within our everyday life and awareness, that we have that choice to say, I don't want to be experiencing this. Let's change the perspective or focus towards something else? Yeah,
I actually do think that. I've been, I will be 100% honest today and every day when I speak about these things, because things are changing so rapidly. And I don't think it's only for myself. I think it's for everyone. Because if we are one, we are one. But we perceive these changes in different ways. So what you're saying now, I have been so much back and forward on these things, many years, many years, been back and forward, because when you truly get into that feeling that you were speaking about now, you just get boomed in your head with the 3D reality that we are living in, and you are thinking, but hey, see what's going on in the world, and is it really so? But right here in this moment of now, I feel it is 100%. And I've also been testing it lately, like testing it in my own life, trying to see what can I attract to myself and what can I not attract. And I have been able to attract, and I also tested out what can I attract of negativity, just to test it out. I'm very curious about these things. So yeah, I attract negativity if that's what I'm focusing on, and if that's what I'm sending out. But the thing I don't understand, and I think many don't understand in this world today, is that do we have to be aware of this? Or can we still walk around being unaware and still do these things? Because, there's so many people in the world that are living really poorly, and they have, pain and evils in their life. And I'm wondering, are they aware or are they not? And, of course, the big question, is there something else outside of ourselves that's also interacting with our lives? Which many people do believe these days. So there's a lot of things going on these days, and I feel that we are kind of on a scene of revealing everything. It's like I said to you, I think I said that we are like holistic detectives. And we are.
Well, we are, because, when you become aware of something, it is that detectiveness that's
Yes.
fun. becoming aware of what's going on. I think, yes, I think you need to be aware. But even if you're unaware and you are manifesting amazing things, then that's great. But if you feel like you're in a place where things are not going as well, I would say awareness needs to come into that, because you're accepting a situation where you can change. You can change that situation, you can change that experience. But as you say, there is so much more to it, because is there something else playing a part to say, is this maybe my soul experience at this time, for example?
I understand what you say. Yeah.
But awareness plays a big part in becoming aware of the bigger picture, and definitely awakening to who we are. Because sleepwalking and manifesting great things isn't gonna bring about that bigger awareness.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We can talk about that maybe another day, but I'm also very into another part of this topic, and that's the false awakening versus the true awakening that's really going to set us all free. But we can have another video about that another day. So stay to topic, Emma.
Okay, well, let's stay on topic with regards to the light. Okay, so when you came into your scene, which you started talking to me, and you saw this light, which seemed artificial, it didn't seem real. What made you feel like this wasn't a place where you wanted to go? Can you explain to us what you felt this place was, and why you decided to go within and follow your own light?
Yeah.
Because I know there is definitely two differences here that will be important for the listeners.
Yeah. I was thinking, this is probably a mix of what I was thinking right there and what I've been thinking about after the regression, because that's natural. It's quite a long time since I had it, so many thoughts have been running through my head. But right there and there, I felt that this is something that's trying to kind of control me and drag me into it, and I didn't like that feeling. So that's why I felt that I have to resist it. I'm not going to go into something that's trying to control me or drag me into it. So that's why I felt that, hey, we have free will, haven't we? Or at least that's the idea of it. So I must be the one that choose where I have to go or choose where I want to go. So I think that was what happening right there and then. And I also I've been listening to many people saying that we have to take the light inside, we have to drag the light inside, but I'm thinking that we are already light. And I think that I said something about that in the regression too. We already are light, so why should we have all these thoughts and illusions of being separated from the light all the time? Because we are already light. So I think that keep ourselves aware and keep ourselves in control of what we are doing as a human being, but also as a soul. So I think that was what's going on inside of me. I felt that, hey, something is trying to do something I haven't chosen to do. So I don't think it was like a resistance from my conscious part, from my human part. I think it was definitely my soul that was kind of, I'm going to stand up for myself. So I felt that going into something that tried to lure me in a way wasn't right. And it was a big place I was living in, or I was in at the time, so I was thinking there must be more here to explore. And I'm glad I did. And I also felt it very strangely that this tunnel just exploded. It was like electrical light that just exploded, like it was a shred or a shortcut, And I found that very interesting.
Would you say a shortcut to reincarnate, to recycle souls, maybe, if that is something that is
Yeah.
real?
I didn't think about that right there and then, but that's what I've been thinking about after my regression, definitely. And I mean, if we are creating our own reality, we are also co-creating, I've been thinking about. And I kind of think that everything that's going on in this world, no matter what type of belief systems or call it program or wrongly teachings or whatever, I think that we all been part of constructing this, but maybe we haven't been it by free will. That's been running through me lately very much. So, and I think that we should definitely live by a free will and be a free living soul.
Yes. So before Emma and I started today, we were talking about how she is a living soul, and she calls herself a living soul because aren't we all just a soul living in this physical vehicle? Or is it the other way around?
Yeah. I used to say that I'm a living soul in a physical vessel, but now I'm saying that I'm a physical vessel manifested in a living soul. So, but you know, it's all just labels, it's just words. I mean, I think that many, you know me, Chrysilla, so you know that I have experiences with extraterrestrials. My experiences is that the more open or wider conscious we are or aware we are, we don't need to communicate so much in words anymore. I feel that words are kind of languages, are kind of hiding our feelings or emotions. And I feel that symbolism, frequency, just feel to the emotion is more important these days. And I started to use that, and when I communicate with people now, I can kind of feel it in their vibration, that is this something that's really of the highest best for all, or is it not? That doesn't mean that the person is deliberately lying, because people can speak about an experience and that experience is so real to them that when they speak about it, they truly believe it in all the cells of their body. But maybe many people today use too many words. So maybe we should try to simplify a little bit and start to feel the vibe more.
Well, you do get the extroverts, you get the introverts, you get people who speak too much and it gets overwhelming, and you have people who don't say a lot, when it kind of throws people off because we want to know what the other person's experiencing is, experiencing or feeling, but we can't, because we're not tuned in, we struggle to feel that vibration, that frequency of what's going on in the other person, because we're so used to that physical aspect of just listening or hearing. You know, tell me how you're feeling, instead of going into the heart center and connecting. Just say, I feel you, I sense you. But I think words came into it.
Yeah.
You know, when we started off as man, there was just sounds. There was maybe thoughts, because we started off talking telepathically. But when words started to evolve, maybe that gave us an aspect to hide. Or you talk about belief systems. When we say things, do we say something because we believe it to be so, instead of saying the truth of why we don't want to do something specifically? Like, for example, if you want to put yourself out of your comfort zone, you may say that I can't do this, but you can. You're just saying to yourself that you can't,
Yeah.
as a factor of a belief that you can't, but you can.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe if there's someone listening to this and they have this feeling inside of them that there's things that I want to share but I can't because blah blah blah, maybe they should start saying, well, I can, but the reason I feel that I can't is because I'm kind of identify what it is that's stopping them, and then look at what they have identified and ask, well, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, I was thinking when I started to go out, I'm an emergency nurse and I do have a reputation to protect, of course, but I'm a very damn good nurse. So, anyone that have me is very lucky. So I was thinking when I started to go out with the things that I've experienced, I always say this is my experience because that's what it is. I never try to shuffle it down other people's throats, or head. So I was thinking I'm going to do my nursing work so good that no one can really put a finger on it. And then I'm going to go out and I'm going to just speak my experience because that's what it is. And I'm going to be proud of doing it because I'm sharing from the depth of my heart. And I think that that's what people should start doing today. And when they do that, they're sharing from their heart. I think the vibration will be.
Well, that's it. It's a vibration, it's a wave, it's a frequency. And we have forgotten the knowledge and the power frequency and sound has.
Yeah.
Right? So sound, what we're speaking is sound, it's a vibration. So it's also about how you say things. What words are you using? What vocabulary are you speaking? That is a frequency and is affecting you.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's so true. And when we talk about sounds and frequency, it fascinates me that, there are many people around this world that are speaking these light languages. I also have one, so,
So what is your insight on that? That is a fascinating topic.
Yeah, the thing I have started, we could see it from a third D perspective, I guess, and think that, okay, all the sounds or all the soul languages that people have, they come from different type of races, they come from a different type of time, a different type of planet, some from the earth in the past or in the future for that matter. But then I was thinking because I'm speaking to a lot of people that have been listening to different soul languages, and what fascinates me is that some people can listen to one language and they can feel like, so blissful, so blissful. Yeah. And others can listen to a soul language and they can feel like, ooh, it's like it's hurting them, or they get sick of it and they feel negativity. So I was thinking, what is this about? One soul language, one frequency can be so beautiful for some and one for another. So I don't have an answer to that today. I think everyone have to find out that for themselves. But looking into it, and I understood that there's so many things that we are speaking about today within the, call it the spiritual community or whatever, all types of communities that I think we are just kind of below the surface. There's so much more to it. And also, because one of the soul languages I have been listening to is the one from the mantids. For as far as I have understood, it's a very clicking sound. And some people react extremely. Some people think it's amazing and beautiful and recognize it and things like that. then I started to think that, well, we humans, you find humans that are very good, you find humans that are very bad. And I just see everything as unbalanced, balanced or unbalanced. And I was thinking that may happen in other planets and in other races as well. There may be good reptilians and bad reptilians. There may be good angels and bad angels, to just say it like that. And good Pleiadians and bad Pleiadians. So I was thinking maybe sometimes it's about who that is being a conduit for the soul language. Maybe that person is in an unbalance right there and then. So that's the frequency you pick up, or maybe it's the unbalance in the person that listen. So I think there's so many factors to look into. We can't just say that, oh, I didn't like that. Ooh, it's bad. That's it. Maybe it's some more to it,
Maybe not liking it is just to say that wasn't meant for you at this time, because what you don't like, someone else may, and it may resonate with someone else.
Yeah.
So I think as long as whatever vibration, frequency of sound, language, whatever is being used feels good, then that's fine. And, we spoke about words as we say and speak, what we say. But the way you say things as well. Do you speak with a throat, with a head, or do you speak from the heart?
Yeah.
Right? And that as well will be felt by the individuals you are speaking to.
Yes, exactly. I've tested the light language on my fiance, Jan Erik, and when I meditate and I kind of go into this state, it's amazing how it affects people and it affects him. But when I'm people say, well, how is your light language? And I just say, it's I just try to replicate it in a way. You can feel that the words is so beautiful, but it doesn't have the energy behind it. So I absolutely think it's very important that it comes from, we say, the heart or the soul. I started to call it a soul language, and then someone said, well, is it different between light language and soul language? And oh, is it? There we have all the words again. I mean, my soul is light, so I don't know.
If everything is light, right? You're just putting labels upon labels. So we know you have a fascination with water, and that is one of the topics we spoke about in your session. Water and intentions, because before we started our quantum healing session, we set an intention. And I think that also played a big part to where you ended up and exploring what you did.
Yeah.
So we all need to be more in tune with water. We all need to drink more water. I feel water is a life force. And especially the intentions we put into that is also the intentions we put into our bodies. And you had a beautiful affirmation that was given to you when you were in this place of oneness. Would it be okay if I share it today?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the affirmation today, and you can use it with water if you like, or just with intentions in general, is, and this is from Emma and Emma's higher self, saying that I am light, I am love, I am one with creation. So that is very beautiful. Thank you for that, Emma.
Yeah, thank you for sharing it. It is beautiful. And I find it very fascinating that I said that, because in the darkest hours of my life, everyone has that. So that's just how it is. I started to say when I was really, really, really down in that periods where you have the really dark periods of your life. And I felt that there's no way out of this. The only thing that I said was that I said, I'm light, or I said it in Norwegian though, but I'm light. In Norwegian, it will be like this: I lose, I lose, I lose. So, and I remember one time when I was really, really sad, I was just saying it like, I think I said it over 100 times. And the more I said it, the more lighter I felt.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that my body like came to life again. I felt that all the troubles that I felt I had, they just vanished. They just let go of me. And I feel I used this affirmation every day because I feel that there's really nothing negative that can come to me when I'm using this. I feel it's so strong to understand that we're all part of the consciousness, the creation, if you like. We are not part of the universe, but we are the universe. So it's both, inside us, around us, everywhere. And we are light. That's what we are. And it's so powerful. So.
Yeah. So it's nice to have affirmations and to use them if they are given. And if it's appropriate to use, please feel free to use them.
Yeah.
Because again, if it feels it benefits you, then great.
Yeah.
But I want to say and talk about the way you say you feel light. I feel that breath work, we don't take those deep breaths anymore, right? And at the same time, connecting with you in every moment. But be conscious of your breathing. Take deep breaths, especially when you feel that anxiety and that stress. But I find that practicing that light energy, Emma, like just relaxing. I feel like relaxing, start at the tip of your toes and relaxing every cell, every muscle, everything in your body. Just completely like sinking into your seats and your sofa or wherever you are.
Yeah.
And just completely letting go. That just brings forth just a different experience altogether. And I've been practicing this now. I actually started practicing it when I wanted to do out-of-body travel. And, just relaxing and feeling yourself becoming lighter and lighter and your soul just kind of leaving your body, right? Yeah. And it is a whole different experience altogether. But since I started practicing it, and the more you practice something, the easier it becomes. So now, I could just sit here and talk to you and just relax every part of me and automatically just feel that energy rise within you. And if I can suggest or recommend anyone who wants to just tune in with their true selves, is to practice that relaxation and that finding that inner light body within you.
Yeah. I absolutely, that's very beautiful. It's true. I do that too, practice that every day. It can be, as you say, in the sofa, wherever. I love to do it outside, but it's not always the weather is allowing it. But sometimes I do it anyway. But I feel that this you were talking about now is a part of living a aware life. It's like my life when I wake up in the morning, I kind of feel myself before I just jump out of bed. And I also do it the days that I'm, have to go to work or whatever. Everyone can make time for these things. Anything else is just excuses, to be honest. There are many ways of taking the light inside of yourself, or being aware of the light inside of yourself, I'd rather say. Being aware of how you are holding yourself, how you are speaking, being aware of, I can take examples from my own life. I have a little dog, she's not here right now, but when I make her food, that's like the first thing I do in the morning. I make her food because she really wants her food. So for me to, to get the time for myself to meditate and things like that, I have to give her food. So make her food and the water, and I always pray for her water. And that's also a way of becoming aware of the light that you are. So I'm doing this with my hand. So I'm just saying that Jag välsignar vannet här med kärlek, glädje, tacksamhet. Tusen tack, jag älskar det. So I'm just blessing the water. It's Norwegian, it's my own. I've used it since I was a child. And giving it to the dog. And I can tell you this, if I don't bless the water, she's not drinking it. She's actually not drinking it. So I have to bless it. When I bless it, she drinks it. And she's standing like this, looking at me while I'm doing it, waving her tail. Then she drinks it.
How important do you think intentions are?
Very important.
And when do you think we need to apply it in life?
Every day. Everything. I mean, I think that just going to the grocery shop, I mean, just a simple thing like this. I don't really like going in shopping malls and things like that. But sometimes we have to do it because there's something we need. Or perhaps don't need, but we're buying it anyway. It's true. I kind of, okay, I want a new candle for my table and it would be really nice to have that color. And I put an intention behind it and I go to a store where I know there's candlelights and I just go right into the store, I find it right away, I pick it up, pay it, and off I am. I do the same thing with clothing as well, jewelries or whatever, you know, you're going to buy. And I also find out for some reason, especially to the grocery store, if I have an attention of going and buy some good salads, and my plan is to go to a certain boutique, but then I get, when I'm aware and in my light and, you know, are present, I get the little thoughts coming in. No, not that boutique. You have to go to the next one. And I just go to the next one, and there they have this beautiful organic salad. And just for curiosity, I go to the first shop that I was supposed to go to, and they don't have the organic salad there, or they don't have the salad at all. Maybe they are out, you know, for the day. So putting intention behind everything you do, I think that's kind of the map of the day that you are living. Mm. So just walking around unfocused and like, ooh, I think that will give you a lot of experiences too. But if you like to not control your life, but if you like to kind of be the captain of the ship, you have to put an intention of where you want to go.
Yeah.
So.
And what about dreaming? So you said in the mornings you need to take time to wake up and feel your body and become present, right? And yeah. I do that every day. Why? Because you travel out of body at night. Your soul travels when your physical vehicle is sleeping. And I think it's important to acknowledge what's happened as well while you were sleeping. And practicing that will allow you to remember your dreams more.
Yeah.
And on the topic of intention, set an intention before going to bed. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you want to experience? Yeah. And see how much you remember in the morning when you wake up. Because it's not just about opening your eyes, getting up from bed and let's crack on with another day. You know, it's beautiful to have that new day.
Yeah.
But also acknowledging, you know, what did you just experience at night? What did you do? And when you start recalling your dreams and remembering those things that happen, you are becoming more aware of your everyday reality, following your intuition and not going in that first grocery store and, you know, saying, no, the next one.
Yeah, exactly. Dreams are so fascinating. And I feel that from my own experience that dreams have become even more fascinating the more aware I became of them. And especially, as you said, in the morning, if I had a dream that I remember going through it. And I have to say that, and I'm not speaking about my childhood, but in my grown-up time, there was a period of my life where I felt I was just part of the dream and I couldn't control anything. I was just like taken into a dream and I just had to go with it. And experience whatever was like tossed at me in the dream. But now the more I become aware of it in the morning and using a little time, and you can write it up if you like to, but you don't need to do it. I think the most important part is to like go through it. So the more I did that, I started to control my own dreams. So now I'm like, ooh, I'm excited to go to bed because, ooh, what I'm going to dream tonight. And sometimes I had put an intention in what I want to dream about, and I have experienced to dream about what I put an intention to dream about. But mostly I like to just leave it up to, you know, what is it that my soul want to share with me now. And it's amazing. I mean, I think that the coolest dream I had lately, people must think I'm completely crazy, but I don't mind. What you think is not about me anyway. But I dreamt that I was on a mission rescue on another planet, and I could steer wherever I wanted to go, whoever I communicated with, what I said. I could, you know, decide everything myself. So it was like the coolest play ever. PlayStation has nothing compared to this. So I was in this dream on another planet, and I had a team with me, and we came with this, you know, starship. And I had the full gear on me. I was a woman. I was extremely fit, extremely strong, extremely fast. I was like, I guess, kind of a super soldier, but not like a super soldier. I know what people put behind that, but you know, I was a warrior princess. And I was on this planet to rescue a group of extraterrestrials that were captured by some reptilian groups. And when I had went into this place, it was like a facility. I had taken all these people, they were like another type of race, taken them out of this place, and my crew had taken them aboard the starship. Suddenly, I was staying behind, probably to secure the area, and suddenly this draconian reptilian came toward me, and it was this leader. And he just said, you again. I don't remember everything he said, but I remember that I said, over my dead body. And he just turned around and looked at his soldiers and said, not today. And they went off, and I had to run back to the starship because they had already lifted from the planet. But it was like we were on the top of some mountain, and it was like not the Grand Canyon, but that's just my way of, you know, it was like this big canyon. And it was like a lifting, you know, a place where the ship had been standing, and they had flew out in the air. So I was like, hey, wait for me. So I run on this lift, and I jumped out into the air and just climbed aboard the starship. That was the coolest dream ever. And they opened up a little hatch, and I could come inside, and I met all the others, and then I woke up. So,
wow, what a dream.
Yeah, it was really, and I don't play games, okay? I don't play games.
Are you sure about that? That sounded like Halo.
Yeah. My son, he does play games, but not Halo. But I've seen, I think there's been made a movie out of that game.
Oh, I
saw a trailer, but that's a long time ago.
Okay, so I want us to compare hypnosis and like meditation and dreaming. So what would you say is the difference with regards to the experience of having a session with me and, you know, that meditation and maybe dream time of a way to connect with him?
Wow. Yeah. it feels like almost the same thing, but then again, it's different because I'm in a way also connected to you that's asking the questions and you are getting the answers. But when it comes to the scenery and how I experience it inside of myself, it feels very similar. And if you had asked me these questions a couple of years ago, I would say, no, it's totally different. But because then I didn't have the control of my own dreams. But today I have, control. And that's what I feel in the hypnosis as well. I feel, and don't take the word control as negative, okay? It's just,
No, not at all. Do you feel it was...
Speaking to those that are listening, it's more like you are in control of yourself. I decided not to go into the tunnel. I decided that I'm following my own light. But after that, I think I had to, no. After that, I just got caught up by this amazing awareness, this consciousness all around me and inside of me. So that's maybe when you're dreaming, you don't have anyone sitting next to you and asking you questions. But if you had, maybe people could get a lot of amazing information out as well. So I feel it's very similar.
So do you think it's beneficial to have a facilitator to help and guide you through a session?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. I know that many people, they kind of question, or some people, they question, is this truly my higher self? Is it my subconscious? What is it that's speaking? But I guess that's up to the person that's going into a regression to decide or to answer. I think I was, as you recall, I was actually nervous before the regression because I very easily go into meditation, and I can meditate for up to 8 hours in nature, no problem at all. I'm completely gone. But I was thinking, this is the first time I'm ever going to do this. Am I going to be able to do it? But then I was speaking to you, and you were so relaxed and beautiful, and you just, take it as it comes. So, yeah, I definitely believe that sometimes we can try to get into regression, but we don't really get so deep as we
would like.
We could. But I absolutely think that if we just release all the
attachments, expectations.
Yes, expectation. That's the word I was looking for. I'm Norwegian. The expectations.
I'm South African.
Yeah. I'm here then. I think so. Oh my God.
Yes, I think expectation is a big thing, especially if you want something so badly and you have the attachment to a desired outcome.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was going. I was just thinking, where was I going with this?
Yeah. So manifesting.
Mm-hmm. You want me to speak about that?
If you like. Well, I guess it's the same thing. It's like
what?
As we just ended on attachments and outcome, it's kind of like manifesting. If you want to manifest something, you need to release the attachments to the desired outcome, and that things need to play out in a certain way. And it's the same with hypnosis. You need to let go of control and let the energies work with you. May you call it universal energy, creative energy, but you need to take out the thinking, analytical mind, which is the attachment to whatever outcome
it's true
you are looking for.
And also don't compare yourself to other people's experiences, because we are part of everything and we are one, but we are also individuals. So we have different experiences. And perhaps some of them, the experiences that we have are based on belief systems. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to get rid of all the belief systems and programs and, all of it. I'm trying to be open to whatever I kind of stumble about. I'm trying to experience it through myself. And if other people like to experience it with me, that would be amazing, because then we can kind of compare our experiences, but don't compare yourself in the way that you're like stuck. If I don't experience the same thing as he or she, then it's not real. So that's why I called myself White Avatar as well. So because the avatar is the vessel we are in, and the white is just expression of being in a zero ground, being there without no expectation, no nothing around. But manifestation, I'm going to tell you the secret for manifestation. Let's talk about it. I've been manifesting a lot lately, and one of the things that I'm experiencing is that when I'm in a good flow of manifesting, I see a lot of the numbers 8 around me in all kinds of different forms, And I have experienced with myself that when I manifest really, really good, I kind of just have a funny, easy conversation in my head. My daughter, she had to tell you this story. I'm going to say this first, because I'm standing there, I'm like, looking so happy. And that's when I'm manifesting.
I think I have the exact same look on my face when I do that.
Yeah. And my daughter, I was doing this in my daughter's room the other day, because I was standing there and brushing my hair, and I started to think about something, and I had these little giggles, like, you could almost not hear them.
I wonder how this would play out, or I wonder what would happen if, right?
Yeah. No, I'm not thinking that, actually. I'm just thinking, oh, it would be fun to be able to, whatever that I want to do. For instance, the other day I was like, oh, it would be fun to be on that radio show. I was listening to a radio show. I'm not going to mention anything, but I was listening to a radio show, and I was thinking during the radio show, oh, it would be fun to have a conversation with these two people, and Jan-Erik and me. And just an hour after the radio show, I was invited. It's like, I have experienced that when you have no attachment to your wish, it's just like a playful wish. Just playfully, oh, that would be amazing, That would be fun. And you just leave it by that. You don't do more with it. You just let it be. And you don't think about it. You don't go into it and what if and what not. You don't go into all that troubles around it.
Do you think it's important to think of it often?
No. I think that you just need to think about it one time and then let it go.
Good.
And have no expectations, no limiting beliefs around it. Don't think when and why and how and all of that, because then you're already putting up limitations around your manifestation.
I think if you see yourself doing whatever the end goal is, once you start thinking about the technicalities of how you're going to get there, you are affecting the vibration or the river of flow, as you would call it, Emma, that will get you there, because universal energy will get you to your desired outcome as quickly as possible. But once you start putting obstacles and blocks in the road, it is going to be more difficult to get to the destination.
Yeah.
It
is. It's true. The river of flow.
That's right. Yeah, it is, because it's going to flow where the energy goes.
Yeah. It's true. And you are manifesting something now, so that's going to be
I sure hope so.
It will.
Okay. Well, good luck with everyone who's currently manifesting. Watch out for those 8 numbers. Know that anything's possible. Just put the energy in there and release all attachments to it.
Yeah. So what else was it in that regression? It was a lot.
Oh. Yeah, there is a lot actually. One of the other things that stood out in your regression was karma for me. And you said, karma is a human word. Funny little word. Just a slowness of the physical manifestation. It's nothing to be afraid of. Everyone can move and shift energy. Karma is not like if you are swearing, then you are going to be hit by a car. That is just bad luck. Or maybe it's your time.
It sounds like my soul.
And it happens to be the day that you swore.
Yeah, even better.
Yeah, so karma is a slowness in the energy, like a block in your life energy. It is simple. So I guess that you use the comparison of, if you use the river of flow and a branch or a tree falls into it, the energy is going to shift and just change. It's like letting the water flow, letting the energy of the light flow.
Yeah.
Okay, what else did you say? If you are grounded, awake and aware. If you go to the left, you meet karma. If you meet stagnation, a block, or a slow path, and you will of course struggle because there is no flow. So that's important, I think. You need to have energy. You need to have movement in your everyday life, because if you're not going to be doing anything, you are going to go stagnant.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was one aspect of karma that you covered in your session.
Beautiful.
Great. Covered belief systems. There's too many belief systems in the world. Okay. And they are created, but they are beneficial of the oneness of all.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe there are many belief systems that kind of separates us or make an illusion that we are separated from the oneness of all, so to speak. That we are all part, that we are not only part of the universe and the big consciousness, but we are the universe and the big consciousness. I kind of understand it. It's not so, if you don't have a reference point, and most humans living in a 3D world, they don't really. They just remember what they are like. They are born, they are living, they are dying. So the reference point they have is the life that they are seeing around themselves. So I think that the life we are living is very outside oriented, focused outside of ourselves. And I truly believe that if everyone for themselves started to look within themselves much more. And again, I believe that meditation is so important. We have heard it for hundreds and thousands of years, so meditation is important, and it truly is. The only reason I'm saying that is because I'm experienced it from I was a child, from my own. As fast as I got home from school when I was a child, I ran out into the forest, I ran up to the mountains, and I had a place there where I was sitting on the mountain and looking out on the sea, and I was just sitting there in meditation, and I got so much insight into life that most people think that a little child cannot possibly do what we do, because our souls are ageless. We are ageless in soul, so this limitational belief that we are like in this physical vessel, we have this lifespan from being born to we are dead. It's just, when I say illusion, it's not like it's not there, it is there. But at the same time, it's so much more. And it doesn't matter how old or young you are in the physical vessel, you all can get into this space of awareness. And if you meditate long enough and truly get to the point where you are totally relaxed in a physical vessel, and you kind of go beyond the conscious field of belief systems that we are all exposed to. When you get behind all of that, you find answers. And I think that those answers are I think those answers are similar for all of us, because that's where we are from. That's where we're coming from, everyone. And the reality we are living in, I feel we are living in a constructed reality. And I know that many people are talking about matrix, and I feel many people using the word matrix, and many people are maybe misunderstanding each other when we are speaking to each other. And I feel that for me, the matrix is the system that we are living in. You have the political system, that's a constructed system. We know that there are a lot of hidden agendas. Religion, we have the medical industry, we have the science, and we have the spirituality, because it's also a lot of hidden agendas within the spiritual communities. It's hidden agendas everywhere, so it's like a matrix constructed around us. And we are in a time now where we are supposed to truly seek within, to get behind all of that, all the constructed realities, and truly get to the core of who we are. Because when we get there, I know that we all will see the same. We will truly see who we are in the depth of our souls. We will see the connection. We will see where we are from and what we are able to do. And then we will start to collectively shift and destroy the matrix system that's been built. Because I believe in 100% transparency. And I had a vision, as you know, I had a vision about this beautiful place that one day humanity will live in. And everyone's calling it New Earth, and it doesn't really matter what we call it. It's just the transparent world that we all are going to be part of.
Yeah, I guess that's why we connect so well, Emma.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just an open book. I'm honest as can be. And I feel like I just say things how they are, and sometimes it's accepted, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
One could only give a perspective, and my perspective and my experiences will be different than yours, but hopefully we can learn from it and apply it to our own life to a degree.
Yes, I agree with that. And I think so. I think that it's so important to be patient with each other, patient with ourselves as well, being kind to each other and compassionate, and also toward ourselves, because things are shifting so rapidly. So understanding that I had last week can have evolved this week, or it may even have changed because I realized that I was too influenced by something outside of myself instead of inside. So I think that on this planet, there's a lot of talk about masters or gurus, and I feel that, you know, there's no master or guru that have become a master or guru without falling down. And to be honest, I have been spoken to different masters in this world. I'm not going to mention names because these are private conversations. But I've seen some of them behind closed doors. And they are wise and knowledgeable. And they are amazing souls and human beings. but they're also having their own issues. They're having things that they not necessarily represent in the media or wherever they are talking about the things that they're doing. We all have this. And that's kind of why I decided that for a long time I was going back and forth. How am I going to present myself? How am I going to do this? I have to have everything like lined up, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to say, what I'm not going to say. And I came to a point where I just felt that that's not transparent. That's there the word control in a negative way comes in. So I just decided that, you know what? If I say something today that I'm not standing behind next week, I'm just going to do it anyway. Because that's part of being a human being. That's part of being in this process of waking up. And there's not one person on this earth, master or not master, that's not in this process of waking up. Because there's so many layers of it. So I think that some just needs to start being 100% transparent. And if someone don't like that, I mean, well, that's what we're heading to. We're heading to a transparent and free life for every living souls. That's just how it is. It can't be changed. And I know that there are those that are planning to change it, planning to lead us into peace. Into chaos and into peace for a period of time, and then into chaos again. And it's not going to happen. Yeah. So the construct of the matrix, it's going to fall because I've decided to. Because we all have decided to, in a collectively in a very deep level.
Mm. Well, wonderful. I think that was an amazing message. So I think we should end the session today. I think we spoke for over an hour, and I think some amazing insights and information has come through today. And I'd just like to thank you, Emma, for being here today. Would you be able to give your website and where people can contact you so that they can do so?
Yeah. My webpage is www.whiteavatar.com. And the webpage is over. It's finished, it's finished, but I haven't published it yet because I want to go through some of the text in there, because I realized that I had used the word God a lot. And I just want to remove it because I want it to be neutral. I don't want it to be a very religious experience when people get into there. I'm neutral. I'm just a living soul. And I'm in search of, the history and everything that's behind us and right here now in this moment. So as fast as I have removed the word God and I have kind of put it more together, it will be out. So, but if anyone wants to contact me, they can contact me on Emma Louise Angel. That was the only available. I wanted to be Emma Louise Living Soul, but I was not allowed to make that email. So Emma Louise Angel at gmail.com. That's my public for now email.
Yeah.
And I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Emma Louise Living Soul, and for now Twitter.
And I'm Chrysilla Lewis, and if you'd like to find me and look at what I do, you can find me at chrysillalewis.com. So thank you very much.
Follow this beautiful lady.
Bless you. We are all in this journey together.
We are.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.